Off the mound now. Already another arm starting to get loose. A righty that's thrown 55 innings this year for ECU, Jake Hunter. His earned run average a little under 5. Here's a 3-0 to Lawson, and it's down low again. So 4-pitch walk, and it's 3 consecutive walks to load the bases here for Ty Evans, who is certainly due.
Well, the hope is you keep throwing balls. And they're going to stick with him. But he's not been playing. All 4 of his pitches missed badly.
Ty Evans has 31 career home runs as a Gator. 2 of those are grand slams. And the first pitch here is not close. Fastball way off the plate with some sink. Just got a lot of movement to his pitches. He just can't throw them for strikes. And quickly, the catcher, Barron, is going to go out and have a conversation. Yeah, that's why you knew by Kevin O'Sullivan bringing in Clemente, it was, hey, we need to keep this thing somewhat close because we have a chance against this bullpen. And unfortunately, it just got out of there in a hurry. Barlow faced 3 hitters, couldn't get any of them out, and then a little lazy liner falls in front of Sear. Ball that just gets past Stripling on a chopper down the third base line, and boom, all of a sudden, 5 runs have scored.
And I think if you're East Carolina, Jeff, you would have been thrilled with 5 innings from the starter, but it's fallen apart fast.
Here's the 1-0, and there's finally a strike. Bottom part of the zone, Evans looked like he was taken all the way. So Ty back in the box, ready. There's a fastball hit hard and off the glove of the second baseman. That's into center field. 1 run scores. Bozer round in third, heading for home. He's a brown-eyed, handsome man. And Ty gets his second hit of the regional. A big one right there to bring in 2 and get the Gators back in this thing.
Gators right back in it. That ball hit hard, and could have been caught, yes, but credit Evans, who's not had a good regional, for blasting one there.
Lawson gets the third. Evans with the 2 ribbies at first. Now for Donay. First pitch to him almost plunks him in the face. Some chin music he has to back away from. Donay's just happy that Williams is out of there. He struck him out twice. And Godwin is out of the dugout. They're not staying with Pruitt. And the Gator fans that are here starting to get into this ball game. Some life on that first base side of the stands. So Godwin, who was hugging and kissing the last guy, not going to do that to this guy. Pruitt gets yanked as quickly as Billy Barlow did. And it's another Meldon Law call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new arm when we come back.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Paid for by FDOT.
Whether it happens on the pickleball court, the soccer field, or when stretching the limits of your yoga flexibility, injuries aren't convenient, but UF Health OrthoCare is. Now with locations in Gainesville and Ocala, our board-certified specialists provide the expertise you need to get moving again. Don't let a sprain, strain, or minor fracture keep you or your kids sidelined. Turn to UF Health OrthoCare. Visit ufhealth.org/orthocare locations for addresses and hours. Walk-ins welcome.
Every pitch from start to finish. This is University of Florida Baseball.
Well, yesterday, Brad Pruitt came in and threw 13 pitches to 4 hitters. And and he got yanked, didn't even get an out. And today against the Gators, he faces 2 hitters, throws 7 pitches, and can't get an out. So 20 pitches in 2 days, and the dude didn't get an out. But that was good news for the Gators, certainly. So quickly, Cliff Gladwin goes to the bullpen, and he'll bring in another right-hander, Jake Hunter.
He did not pitch yesterday. His ERA 4.58, 2-3 record, 28th appearance, 3 saves, 55 innings, 57 hits, 28 earned runs, 24 walks, 54 strikeouts. Teams 266 against him.
As he finishes up his warm-up tosses, Brody Donay will inherit a 1-0 count as we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield. Jeff Cardozo here with you. Steve Russell alongside Baron Easterling is our producer. The 2025 collegiate baseball season on the line for the Florida Gators. Down 8-1, all of a sudden 8-3, and Brody Donay can make it 8-6 if he can come up there and do what he's done a lot of this year, leave the yard with a baseball. But the wind, really weird pattern today. It's been blowing in all day after blowing out the first 2 games. That's certainly impacted some fly balls from the Gators, and it continues to do that here. So again, a ball and no strikes as Donay digs in. Righty comes set, mustache and all. And the pitch to Donay is down to the turf for ball 2. In Pruitt's 7 pitches, he only threw 2 strikes. Shift is on for Donay. Tire right side of the infield wide open for him. As the first baseman, Irby, holds on the runner. 2-0 pitch, almost hit him. Up and in for ball 3. They've got another righty out in the bullpen throwing. And that's a guy with a 6.5 ERA. So 3-0 to Donay. And he's swinging. Chops one right to third. They'll go to second for 1 on to first. My goodness. It's a double play. And Chuck Girolman is irate looking at Brody Donay. The Gators are going to get a run, but that just completely saved ECU from what could have been a huge inning. Unbelievable.
Why would you swing 3-0 there? I don't care if it's on a tee.
I think he didn't realize it was 3-0 because of the 1-0 count that he already inherited, and then he came in and just took 2 balls. He forgot. That's a big, big mistake there for the Gators. 8-4 game now. As Blake Sear is in there, takes ball 1. And now ground ball to the right side. That's going to find right field. So that would have helped even more on the bigger inning as Sear goes against the shift and gets another hit here in the regional.
Well, they're not done yet. Guy on base. At least, if nothing else, the Gators are back in the game. But yeah, that if you look back, if this score holds, that's a huge at bat.
Well, here's Yost. 2 outs, and Sear getting his lead from first. The pitch is in there, a breaking ball for strike 1. Hunter has given up runs in 5 of his last 6 outings. He hasn't gone more than an inning in any of those outings. So he has not been very good. 0-1 is down in the dirt. Yost could really use a hit. 0 for 2 in this one, just 4 for his last 33 now at the plate. SEC Player of the Week. With about 3 weeks left to go in the conference season, and then after that has really cooled off. 1-1 pitch, nowhere close on a fastball up and off the plate.
how do you get to college and have guys that just can't throw strikes?
Yeah, a lot of guys are throwers. Well, not pitchers these days. Here's the 2-1 to Yost. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Yost just one hit this weekend. Digs back in the box. And here comes the 2-2, and it's fouled off. Saw that breaking ball again. At least got a piece of it that time. Get another crack at it. So the Gators with a 3 spot here in the 6th, an 8-4 East Carolina lead. Florida had never lost to East Carolina, 4-0 in school history before dropping the game the other night. Here's the 2-2. Fastball hit the other way, but snared by the third baseman. It was right to him against the shift, and that's a heck of a play by Wallace. And that's going to do it for the Gators. But with the luxury of 3 walks, Gators get 3 on the board. All of those come in and put a dent in the 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. ECU's up 8-4.
Gator fans, are you tired of boring beers that are as exciting as a sack bun? It's time to shock your world. The new look Shock Top Belgian White is as smooth as a double play and hits harder than a Gator Grand Slam. Brewed with real orange peels and coriander, Shock Top Belgian White is unfiltered like your trash talk and will take you to a way out world with every sip. A new look with the same great taste. Smooth and refreshing and ready to play ball. Shock Top Belgian White. Shock your world. Shock Top Belgian White, Portland, Oregon. Please drink responsibly. 21 and up.
Hey Gator fans, being a part of Gator Nation means no matter where you go, you and your pets are part of the Gator family. That's where Pet Paradise comes in. At each resort, their pet-obsessed staff is ready to help your pet feel right at home. New customers can try Pet Paradise for free with 1 free stay or play reservation, which includes a day of camp or a night of boarding. At Pet Paradise, boarding, grooming, daycare, and training are all under one roof. Score big with complete pet care for Gator Nation at Pet Paradise.
You're listening to University of Florida Baseball in the Conway Regional. Now back to Springs Brook Stadium.
Home half of the 6th here in Conway, South Carolina. About 15 miles or so to the west of Myrtle Beach. Good crowd starting to make their way in here now, knowing the home team, Coastal, playing after this one. Want to watch the end and see who their team is going to face. Right now it's East Carolina, but the Gators have clawed their way back in. 8-4 ECU lead as Jake Clemente gets back to work. He has retired 5 in a row since giving up the solo homer to Irby. And he'll face a guy that has the hat trick already in John Collins, but he's able to check his swing on a first pitch breaking ball. Collins is a cleanup man. He's had a chance to do a lot of damage today and just keeps striking out. And he swings and misses badly at a breaking ball there. Collins just 1 for 10 in this regional. Gets ready for the 1-1 pitch, and it is a swing and a miss on a breaking ball for strike 2.
If he throws him a breaking ball in the outside corner, he's got no chance.
Collins, a 279 hitter, gets ready, and
just
he got
like that.
Yep. Breaking ball again. Collins nowhere close. Dude's got the sombrero already, and it's only the 6th inning.
He tries to pull it. You can see the way he swings, his approach. He doesn't even try to go the other way, so throw him outside, try to pull it, and that's not going to work.
So Riley Johnson's turn. Left-handed hitter. First pitch to him is right through there. Good changeup from Clemente, who doesn't throw that too often. But when he needs to, he's got it. There's a fastball, and it's swung on and hit late. And the guy that was on the berm tried to catch it and couldn't. Popped out of his hand. Clemente quickly up in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Puts that glove out in front of his face. now ready to go, and the pitch is up and off the plate. Johnson, a bunt base hit in his first at bat, gets ready and chops this one foul right past the end of the Gator dugout. Outfielders all straight away. Johnson just 2 homers on the year, ready, and the pitch is hit out to left. Sears going back, still going back, and this is off the wall. So he'll pick it up after it hits the soft netting out there in front of the bullpen. It's a 1-out double.
Gators got a break, though. That ball nearly got out off the top of the wall. Hanger, though, that time. That ball was up.
So Colby Wallace's turn. Just made that great play. Rob Yost of a single. He's got a hit in 3 trips. Only time he faced Clemente, he chopped to third. Where Stripling is playing even with the bag over there. And the first pitch is a good fastball at 95 for strike 1 on the outer part of the plate. Wallace just 2 for 11 here in the regional. He ended a 7-game hitting streak, going 0 for against Coastal last night. Another fastball, and it's fouled off for strike 2. Cliff Godwin, the head coach and third base coach, flashing some signs. Not many guys that are head coaches that still coach third base left in college baseball. Here's the 0-2. Runner goes, and it's chopped right side. Lawson has it. He'll flip to Clemente, but it's wide and goes all the way over to the dugout, and ECU's going to score. It was a tough play because it was a high chopper, and Clemente, in trying to come over, was ahead of the baseball, and Lawson threw it behind him, and nothing Clemente could do.
Well, again, East Carolina is kind of an unorthodox team, having a guy try to steal at second base, and that ends up being a bonus for them because he's got momentum coming home when the errant throw was made. So again, the Gator defense fails them.
So right when the Gators got back in it, now they trail by more than a grand slam again. It's 9-4. And it's the second big error of the day for the Gators. And now you've got to face Austin Irby, who has been on base all 3 times. And it looks like Jared Swime, the athletic trainer, is going to come out to the mound with Kevin O'Sullivan and check on Clemente. Again, he was running over to try to get it, and he had to then stop, try to reach back for it. And it looked like maybe when he planted his hand or something, it landed awkwardly.
You know, the unfortunate thing about that, I mean, there's still time in this game, but that kind of dents the momentum that Florida had, because to allow a run again after that 3 spot, so it's back in their dugout now, they can get more.
And they're showing the replay now. It's exactly what happened. Clemente fell on his hand awkwardly. And the more you look at Lawson, he had time, and I think he thought he didn't. So he tried to hurry the throw over there, and just it was behind Clemente. If he just sets his feet with a hard underhand toss over there, it's an out. And there's a guy at third with 2 outs. We'll see how the Gators handle Irby here, who's on track to maybe win the regional MVP. Left-handed hitter, takes ball 1, fastball down and in. He's got 3 homers already in the regional, 9 hits in 3 games, and he has driven in 7. Been on base all 3 times today. As Clemente throws one down in the dirt, it gets away from Donay, and that'll move up Wallace to third base.
Well, that's probably going to force the Gators to play the infield in.
is the runner at second. Inouye rushed himself, and again, K-State's inability to make plays up the middle cost them here in the first inning today. It was a heck of a stop by Inouye. Now K-State may appeal this, may try to get it reviewed. The ball was stung. The question is, was Dardar's left foot on the bag or not? And it looked like it was off. Dardar didn't try to sell it at all. Inouye's flip was just not on the money. He got eaten up by that hot shot. And with his back to the infield, spun around and got rid of it a little too quickly. And the second base umpire, Ryan Clark, was right on top of it. Well, I do not expect this to get overturned. Dardar's foot was on the inside edge, so the third base side of second, but wasn't able again to keep it on the base. And Texas looking for a big first and some early momentum. The umpires go to the far end, just beyond K-State's dugout. And they talk to the review center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They aren't looking at any kind of video. And we'll see what they say in a matter of moments. Duke still playing a little catch with Bear Madliak at the moment. Texas is off to a quick start. Now the review is done as the umpires shed their headsets. And Linus Baker, who's the crew chief, has the call. So they've not scored a hit yet. They've not scored an error yet, and now they finally put it up. So with Rodriguez at first, they do call it E6. First and second for Flores, the shortstop. 2 on, a man out, and 2 in for UT here in the first. Breaking pitch hits Flores between the shoulder blades. K-State's going to have to get somebody down to the bullpen. They've already got it, and that's really what you don't. That's the last thing you wanted today. The absolute last thing you wanted. Now they're loaded up. And you're asking to be in a big hole before you know what hits you. Pete Hughes out to the mound with a very slow walk. And in fact, he's making the move right now. So Tanner Duke only gets 1 out. Obviously, Tanner not happy with himself. K-State's got to go to one of their workhorses, and James Guyette is going to have to carry the mail for a good long while in this one. It's already 2-0 Texas. 4 hits in the first. And what they've done is they scored to Rodriguez. They've adjusted that now and have taken the air off the board and given him an infield single. Well, now the hopes rest with the right arm of James Guyette. Again, we're early on, but Texas has 2 on the board. They've got the bases loaded when we come back. A pitching change from UFCU Dish Falk Field. 2-0 Horns. We're back after this on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Big news! Peerless Tires for Less is now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service. Same trusted team, same quick tire service, now with even better tire value, a nationwide warranty, and easy financing options to fit your budget. Plus, every set of tires you buy comes with free flat repairs, rotations, air checks, and inspections to keep you rolling worry-free. Visit your local Peerless store, now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service, or shop and schedule online at gillspointstire.com.
What's up, baseball fans? Enjoying the game should be easy. Don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some burgers for the grill and grab some Bud Light for your pregame tailgate. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Here's James Guyette, first action of the regional here in Austin. And the right-hander inherits some difficulties. Guyette's 4-3 with an ERA of 4.37, 24th appearance of the year. Leads the squad. He's thrown 47 in the third innings, most innings out of the pen. 47 strikeouts, 27 walks. He cannot give up freebies. Tanner Duke rattled by UT to this point. K-State could have gotten out of it with a double play a moment ago. Cats bring the infield in about medium depth. Here's Williams, the football player playing baseball for Texas. He gets Guyette. Fooled by a changeup at 83. He was sitting dead red. Williams is being played the other way. In the left center alley is Maximus Martin. It's 0-1. Flores at first, Rodriguez at second, Schussler's at third. It's 2-0 Texas. Missing down and in. James Guyette will have to have extreme focus. 2 runs on 4 hits already in the first inning for UT. Pulled the string on him again, and the inexperienced Williams, who's making just his 14th start of the year, is down 0-2. Of his 15 hits, he has 3 doubles. Williams is an athlete, and he is struck out on the time violation. He didn't even get back in the batter's box, and he's rung up by John Burns. So there's a free out for K-State. Don't see that very often. And that brings up the 8-hole hitter, Borba. That won't make Jim Schlossnagle very happy whatsoever. Now you just need 1 to get out of it, and boy, that would help stem the tide. Borba, though, is a home run threat. He's got 10 jacks on the year and 38 ribbies. Only hitting .261. Slider backhanded by Madliak. There's going to have to be a wall. Borba out of Santa Ana, California. 6'1", 210, third baseman. Runner bluffing from third. That's right, or that's Schussler. And this ball is whacked to deep right field. Uh-oh. A Texas grand slam. 6-0 UT. His 11th homer, and Borba now with 42 runs batted in. Guyette gave up that big home run to West Virginia, and Texas tags him right out of the pen. It's only the 3rd homer he's allowed this year, but that one is a rough one. Well, so much for a letdown from Texas after losing late last night in this park. They've exploded for 6 right out of the chute. Guyette with a knee-high strike to Gasparino, the center fielder, who's had some offensive woes. He has some pop. Gasparino is a tall drink of water at 6'6". We've got 3 6'6" outfielders in this regional. That's slider in for strike 2. Gasparino's only hitting .245, but has 13 bombs and 48 driven in. An opposite field grand slam by Casey Borba has vaulted UT in front 6-zip. And he strikes out Gasparino on 3 pitches, gave him the slider. He strikes out Tudas Guyette, but allows the grand slam. So a whole lot of work to be done now by the K-State Sticks. Can't get it back all at once. It will start when we come back. 6-0 UT after the top of the first. Back to Austin in a moment on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Success on game day starts with knowing your opponent. And when it comes to investing, you need to have a game plan too. Here are some stats you need to know. Investment scams don't just target the elderly. Research shows many fraud victims are college-educated, financially literate individuals who are optimistic. 1 in 10 will fall victim to investment fraud. The Kansas Insurance Department is here to help with a new website at smartinvestks.com. Have a game plan before you invest. Educate yourself on how to avoid scams at smartinvestks.com.
Big news! Peerless Tires for Less is now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service. Same trusted team, same quick tire service, now with even better tire value, a nationwide warranty, and easy financing options to fit your budget. Plus, every set of tires you buy comes with free flat repairs, rotations, air checks, and inspections to keep you rolling worry-free. Visit your local Peerless store, now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service, or shop and schedule online at gillspointstire.com.
The Cats will start their day offensively here in the bottom of the first inning. They definitely don't want a scoreboard watch because it's a 6-0 Texas advantage right out of the chute. The 2 home runs for UT in the top of the inning are numbers 81 and 82 of the year. Kansas State will face Ruger Riojas. Was a UTSA Roadrunner. Was in the rotation for Pat Hallmark. Comes to UT. Was the closer until conference play started in mid-March. He will come over the top. He will come from the sidearm slot. And I don't know if we'll see it today, but he has thrown a few ephus pitches this year. And for those of you who may not know what an ephus pitch is, I'll just use the word lob. It's the pitch that would be reminiscent of softball in terms of like summer softball, a men's league. It's way up in the air and takes a while to come back to earth. So here we go with Inouye. He'll be followed by Kennedy and O'Connor here in the bottom of the first. Ball 1, a fastball low to Inouye, sitting at 285. Riojas will run it up there, 92 to 94. Time called. Jim Schlossnagel being told to quiet down, or somebody from the Texas dugouts said something to John Byrne, who's shown a very short leash. Short fuse, that is. So the 1-0 pitch on the way to Inouye, and he'll bounce it backside. Deep short right at Flores, who had to go a step to his right. Inouye out by a step at first, and there's out number 1. The catcher and going to back up the play, stopped by the dugout, so he'll relay something to home plate umpire John Byrne right now. So with Inouye out on 2 pitches, here comes former Longhorn D. Kennedy. He transferring to K-State. Did not play, obviously, for Jim Schlossnagle, the new head coach. Taking over for David Pierce. Ball one low to Kennedy at .282 average this season. 11 homers and 43 driven in. A 2-for-7 regional with a couple of walks and 3 Ks. Didn't trigger an appeal to first base and Linus Baker. He says no dice. And what did I mention early on in pregame? Austin Wade said you got to stay off stuff up and down. K-State's got to swing at strikes. Lots of room now on the right side of the diamond with the shift left. The second baseman Mendoza up the middle. Slider dances away, and the count scoots to 3-0. If you're K-State, you've just got to chip away at this thing. Pitching staff's going to have to get some zeros up, but the offense just needs to move the line. Strike call to make it 3-1. Kennedy will get himself reset, right-handed hitter. Against righties this year, Kennedy hitting .257. Pitch just off the plate away, and that's ball 4, and the Cats have a one-out runner here in the first inning. .274 against righties overall is K-State. .297 against lefties. Which over the course of time, that's a little out of the ordinary. K-State usually thumps right-handed pitching. So with Kennedy aboard, O'Connor digs in. His 3-run homer yesterday, setting his school single-season record. He has 17. Good fastball. 92 miles per hour to O'Connor. Nothing in 1. Keegan's regional, 2-for-7. The home run driving in his 3 ribbies in the 2 games so far. Bangs this one over Flores and out into left center. That's going to get Kennedy at least to third. Thomas Hughes will give him the stop sign. First and third, Wildcats. You're in the bottom of the first. That's what you have to do. Line is moved to Seth Dardar. Gasparino got to it fairly deep in left center, but O'Connor kept to just 90 feet. Some guys can turn that into a double, but Keegan wasn't able to. Dardar, .330 average, a dozen homers, 42 ribbies. 3-for-7. 1 RBI, couple of Ks and a walk in this NCAA regional. Bangs it off himself at the plate, triggering right away. 0-1. Yesterday in the win against HCU, Dardar was one of the 3 Wildcats with a multi-hit game. He was 2-for-3. .336 his average against righties. A look at second. And this ball pounded to deep left field. Rodriguez watches this land in the Yeti zone. And the Cats have cut the lead in half on Dardar's 3-run opposite field homer. 6-3 Texas. The Cats, they can match Texas power for power. Dardar's 13th, now 45 ribbies. And for Riojas, that's the 10th home run he's allowed. That's more than any other Longhorn pitcher. So while the Cats are down 3, it's game on. K-State with the 3-run shot. Here's Martin. Love to see Maximus get involved in the party. He's 1-for-7 in the 2 games today. Off-speed pitch at the outer half for a strike. 0-1 to Maximus. 14 homers and 54 ribbies for the Gladiator. 6-3 Texas. 9 combined runs here in the first. Late swing. Maximus didn't recognize it. It's that same pitch put up. And while he got a piece of it, it's 0-2. Nobody on. 1 man out here in the first. 6-3 Horns. And what's the kryptonite? Pitch K-State's right-handed hitters away. That was in the left batter's box when it was backhanded by Galvan. Riojas, a long pause. Curveball fouled straight back. Maximus again a little early with the swing. Partly cloudy skies, lots of sunshine, and it is warm and sticky. A lot of folks trying to fan themselves in the seats. Really right in front of or right behind home plate and then down the first base and right field lines. That's where all the fans are getting lots of sunshine. Can Martin find a way to reach base? Up is that pitch. That breaking ball stayed high. Again, Riojas will give you a couple of different arm slots, over the top and then near sidearm. 6-3 Texas, bottom of the first. We've got a long ways to go. Good eye there by Martin as he followed it down. 3-2, full count. On deck is Evasco. Gasparino will move a little more towards left center field. UT playing Maximus pretty shallow, all things considered, in the outfield. And Maximus again strikes out on a pitch away. Not able to keep the line moving there, and now 2 outs. Here's Evasco. Alex John with a 2-for-6 regional with a walk and a sac fly. In yesterday's game, 2-for-4. Riojas throws a strike, and for whatever reason, again, AJ, who has happy feet at times in the box, was starting to back out of the batter's box. So 1 strike. 9 homers, 49 driven in for Evasco. Everybody straight away defensively for Texas. Rolled over right side to his left. Mendoza up with it, gets rid of it quickly and throws out Evasco by a couple of steps. Nice play by Ethan Mendoza, and that will slam the door on K-State's first inning. But the Cats at least get the 3-run home run from Dardar to chip off 3 runs of the lead. Now Guyette back to the mound. 6-3 Texas. We've only played 1. We return to the dish in a moment on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I envisioned a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Ever since the bottom of the first ended, John Byrne, the home plate umpire, and Jim Schlossnagel weren't necessarily face-to-face, but they were in a fairly heated discussion, and it just now ended. John Byrne, after the first pitch of the ball game, really gave the hand to the Texas dugout. That offended Jim Schlossnagel, so he wanted more of an explanation, and it started calmly and then became a little more heated. But it's done, and now we go to the second inning. Wow, what a first. Action-packed, to say the least. Texas batted 9, scored 6. Borba's grand slam, really the big blow. There was a 2-run homer by Ballou. So Mendoza right back to the plate here to start the second. He doubled to begin the ballgame. Good slider. Outside corner, 0-1. Can Guyette get settled in and get goose eggs up on the board? Let his defense work for him. Nasty slider. That was a little off the plate. Got the strike. 0-2. That frisbee slider from Guyette is lethal. That's what he threw right there, and just getting a piece of it was Mendoza, who literally, he didn't let go of it, but literally threw the bat at it. And one thing I'm a little surprised hasn't been taken care of is how close the Texas on-deck hitter is allowed to be near home plate. I think he should be backed up. Still 0-2. Guyette works from the stretch. He's at high. The fastball missing 1-4, or 1-2, I beg your pardon. 6-3, top of the second. Very deep in right is Vasco. In right center is Martin. And way off the left field line is O'Connor. Trying to go to right, and it's slicing down the right field line is Mendoza. So again, this gives you a taste of what the spray chart looks like, that Mendoza not really expected to pull a guy like James Guyette. Guyette goes to the rosin bag. It's a warm one here in Austin. Warmest day since any of these teams arrived, be it HCU, UTSA, or K-State. A ball, 2 strikes. Guyette backs one up inside and misses. 2-2. Guyette is not an overly fast worker. You would like to see him be efficient with pitches, because the Cats are going to need him out there for a good long stretch. There's a ground ball on 3 hops to short. Inouye up with it to first in plenty of time, and Mendoza brushed aside. First out of the second recorded. Stay plugged into all things K-State athletics, from ticket deals and game day info to schedules and exclusive updates. The K-State Sports app has it all. Whether you're heading to Bramlage, the Bill, anywhere the Cats compete, it's your go-to source for everything purple. Download the K-State Sports app, available now on the App Store and Google Play. Here's Galvan, the catcher, struck out. The only guy Duke would retire in the first inning. Duke only faced 6. Ball 1, an off-speed pitch that nearly got Galvan, and he'll reset himself deep in the right side batter's box. Good pitch, but apparently just outside, according to John Byrne. 2-0. Three Wildcat defenders deep between second and third. A breaking pitch up. And Guyette has fallen behind 3-0. Guyette's longest outing of this season, 5 1/3 at home against Houston. That was the game K-State lost on Sunday. Here's a strike, 3-1. He threw twice in that series. In fact, there were a multitude of Big 12 series where Guyette did throw twice. UCF, KU, and Houston. This ball flied down the right field line. Vasco looking up in the sun, a step away from the line, and hauls it in. 2 men out. K-State got 3 in the bottom of the first. It would be refreshing for Guyette and the Cats to see a goose egg go up here in the second. Here's Ballou, who took Duke out to left field, an opposite field shot. Third batter in the game. Ballou from Aledo, Texas, shows bunt. That pitch again barely missing outside. The strike zones in this regional, there's been plenty of talk about them. They've not been wide. And in K-State's game yesterday with HCU, and then in watching Texas UTSA last night, the strike zones late really shrunk. Madliak doesn't handle the changeup. That will usher the count to 2-0. K-State now with a noticeable shift to the right side, the one that puts Dardar in the outfield. And another changeup. Up and away. 3-0. Schussler, who singled, is on deck. Six-3 Horns, top of the second inning. Yep, you heard me right. This ball bounced to the right side. Flores gets it. Nearly stumbles, but gets to the bag in time himself. 3-in assistant to retire Ballou, who was swinging 3-0. And the Horns go 1-2-3 in the second. So there is that aforementioned goose egg. No runs, no hits, nobody left in the second for Bevo. We go to the bottom of the second here in Austin. A 6-3 Texas lead on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
What's up, baseball fans? Enjoying the game should be easy. Don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some burgers for the grill and grab some Bud Light for your pregame tailgate. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's estimated between now and 2050, we're going to add 1.7 billion people to the planet. The more people, the more energy. The United States is doing its part, rising to become the #1 oil and gas producing nation on Earth, all the while reducing our emissions year over year. And that makes sense here in Kansas, where it's mostly local producers that live in your own town. They care about your environment because it's their environment too. Do your own research at kansasstrong.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Kansas State University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
6-3. Wildcats back to the plate here in the second inning. The latest Varsity Willie collection drops, the perfect way to show your K-State pride, friends. Check out the latest release, which includes soccer and volleyball. More at shop.kstatesports.com. Complete your collection ASAP. Bottom third up for the Cats here in the second. English, Flores, Madliak against Riojas, who allowed the 3-run home run from Dardar in the first inning. Pitches low to English, the DH. Again, the hamstring does not allow Nick to play in the outfield at the moment. He's hit 2 homers, has 8 driven in on the year. Hit the solo shot Friday night against UTSA. That pitch just missing up. John Byrne drawing a few groans from the Texas faithful. K-State now has 3 home runs in the regional. That pitch worked away for a strike to Nick English. Nick's gone through some tough times this year. The sophomore season has not gone any way the way he wanted it to. And now from 2-0 to 2-2. Bottom of the order will have to produce in this ball game. Riojas set right at the belt buckle. Galvan wants it away, and that pitch not close. He didn't finish it. Galvan had to reach high to pull it in. Full count. In the first inning, Riojas threw 20 pitches. And that's what K-State needs to do. Again, hit strikes, let the other stuff go. Good cut by English. Foul straight back. English, Flores, Madliak again, the triumvirate of hitters here in the second if anybody gets on and away. There's some room to the right side of the diamond. English not known as a guy that can go the other way. Breaking ball popped him up. Left side, Borba in foul ground, backpedals and makes the catch. So with the foul out, there's one down. One down for Flores. Flores got a pinch hit yesterday. Flores was used as a pinch hitter in the 8th. That's when K-State responded with 2 of its own. And now we've got a violation out on the mound as John Byrne immediately goes out. More of a warning. He'll reset the pitching clock. Scoreboard says 94 degrees now here in Austin. Flores takes a straight fastball at 91. No balls and a strike. McLennan's pride, now a Wildcat. McLennan Community College out of Waco. Hot shot to second. Picked up by Mendoza. Flores easily retired. 2 down. So that'll give Madliak a chance with 2 down. Again, Texas scored 6 runs in the first. We've referenced this off and on throughout the year as it pertains to the Cats. When Texas scores 6 or more, they are 30-4 this year. Madliak stares at a strike that was brought back up by Galvan. 0-1. Madliak 245, 8 homers, 29 ribbies. An 0-for-6 regional for Bear. Breaking pitch took something off. Low and away, 1-1. Bear's hitting less than 135 in his last 53 at bats. He's only got 7 hits in that stretch. He did not like that call and will show his displeasure. Steps out of the batter's box. It's 1-2. Mendoza, the second baseman, straight up the middle. Schussler not close to the bag at first. Ground ball rolled over to third. Easy play for Borba. The lower third goes in order. So both teams pop runs on the board on the first. Both teams go 1, 2, 3 in the second. After 2 in Austin, Texas 6, K-State 3 here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Here in Austin, it's 6-3 Longhorns in a Sunday elimination game. The winner will play championship game tonight against UTSA. And if it's one of these two teams that wins tonight, then there's the if necessary and second championship game tomorrow. along with K-State. Oklahoma State trying to stay alive. Cowboys down 9-7 in the 9th in Athens. Georgia with a run in the 7th and the 8th to break what was a 7-all tie. Third inning now. Schussler, Rodriguez, and Flores to face James Guyette. Schussler's walk-up music, interestingly enough, 9-5 by Dolly Parton. He singled and scored in the first. Faces Guyette for the first time. Guyette gets a low strike. Riojas was getting that call in the bottom of the second, and the Texas fans don't like the fact that Guyette got the call right there. 6 runs, 5 hits Texas, 3 runs, 2 hits K-State. Up and out, a ball and a strike to Schussler, who's got 22 multi-hit games to his credit. Schussler did one of the unthinkable things, transferred from A&M to Texas. You can say the same if it's vice versa. This ball lifted to left, hit it off the end of the bat. Did it get enough? No, it doesn't leave the yard, but O'Connor played it poorly and stumbling around second. There's going to be a play in third, but he's safe. O'Connor did not play that well. It should have been an out. O'Connor did not get to the wall first. He let the ball play him. And what's a triple should, friends, have been an out. He hit it down near the end of the bat. He got it, but not completely. And O'Connor's job was to get back. He didn't really feel for the fence. He jumped. He didn't need to. He just needed to get to the wall, and that's a put out. Instead, it's a triple for Schussler, and now here's Rodriguez. He's got an infield single and a run scored to his credit. Well, Keegan would like to do that over again. Unfortunately, it won't happen. So the leadoff man reaches for Texas here in the third. A strike to Rodriguez will even the count up at 1-1. Rodriguez had a 16-game hitting streak snapped last night, so he started a new one and now has a 24-game on-base streak. Big swing and a miss. Rodriguez tried to hit that one over the right field fence. Rodriguez has been a bit banged up this year. A swing there. He's playing with an injured hand. He has a hamate bone injury. And interestingly enough, can deal with it at the plate, but it's more difficult in the field. K-State's back on the right side of the infield. Inouye is snuck to his left, is up the middle, medium depth. Strikeout here would be golden for Guyette. His arm drags and the fastball sails outside. 2-2. 6-3 Longhorns, top of the third. If Vasco is very deep in right. Wind blowing out the left. Popped him up. Almost as good as a strikeout. Near second, Dardar. Now Inouye, and Dardar finally calls him off. The two were hip to hip, side by side. Out of deep short, and Dardar, who saw it right away, makes the catch. Well, again, it was interesting. Most importantly, it's an out. That'll bring Flores to the plate. Flores is a junior, had a chance to go pro, didn't, came back to Austin, and now an offensive timeout being called by UT. In case you're wondering, you might remember this from the last couple of years, but Troy Tulowitzki is still a part of the Texas staff. Jim Schlossnagel with a brand new staff, but Tulowitzki, who'd been part of UT's staff, sticking around. 1 on, 1 out. 6-3 UT. Flores was hit by the first pitch he saw from Duke, and it was the last pitch that Tanner would throw in this game. Guyad's pitch zings right down Broadway for a strike, 0-1. We're about an hour in. Horns up 6-3. We owe you a station ID. It's coming shortly. Righty-righty the matchup. Smoked up the middle. 7-3 Texas. Flores drives in his 54th. It's right on the fastball and send it right back up the middle. And let's pause 10 seconds now for station ID. You're listening to Wildcat Baseball. .54th RBI for Flores. Williams, a strikeout victim in the first, comes to the plate. Took a called third strike because he did not get back in the batter's box. And a swing and miss here makes it 0-1. Matt Walters with you here in Austin. Lacey Williams in our Jeff City, Missouri studios. Unfortunately, Brian Smoller not able to join us this afternoon. Throw to first base by Guyette. Texas with 6 in the first, now 1 here in the third. K-State battled back in the first with 3 of its own, but the lead has grown back to 4. Change up and a beauty to Williams. 0-2. Williams just doesn't have the sample size that most of the Texas hitters do. The freshman out of Galveston and Ball High School is a tremendous athlete. He's 6'3", 200. He's got a whale of a frame. Left-handed hitter. Bounces it underneath the glove of Flores. Dardar will track it down. And that's what not having David Bishop at first, why that hurts. Flores thought he would get a better hop. He had to play it on a short hop. Fortunately, Dardar was backing him up. Otherwise, it's first and third. Kind of swooped at it, did Flores, instead of getting in front of it. Now the entire infield goes to the mound. And now home plate umpire John Byrne goes to the mound to back it up. They will score that E3. And what's tough is that comes with an 0-2 count. Guyette faces Borba, who hit the grand slam off of him to right field in the first. Guyette came in and struck out Williams, as I mentioned. And on a 1-0 pitch, on a pitch that was a little bit away from Borba, he drove it to right and got it over the fence. And that ball lathered to left. He got every bit of it. Over the national championship billboard. Borba's halfway to the home run cycle. He's got 7 RBIs already. And it's now 10-3 Texas. He was sitting dead red on the first pitch, and he got it. Here's Gasparino, a strikeout victim in the first. He was swinging for the fences there, 0-1 as he bounced it off him. It rolled right out to first base. So a 6 spot and a 4 spot already in the first 3 innings for UT in this game. Guyette's 0-1. Took a little off, finds the mark. 0-2. When you lose that matchup of unbeatens on Saturday night, what that means is you have to win 3 straight. K-State's job got started with a win last night or yesterday afternoon, but now the Cats have to win 3 in a row. It's not gotten off to a good start. A pop foul from Gasparino. When you have to play 5 games in this condensed format, which has been in place for a while, it really stresses you in every facet. Guyette's given up 2 jacks to Borba. Gasparino pops up. Left side of the infield. Kennedy looking for the wall, backpedals and makes a nice catch. Good work there by D. And that shows and exemplifies how he has improved. Some of the improvement he has made. So Gasparino fouls out, and Mendoza comes to the plate for a 3rd time in 3 innings. 2 down, nobody aboard. Damage done, though, here in the 3rd by UT. 10-3 Texas. Nice bunt laid down, but it'll roll foul. What's nuts about Texas this year, as good as they are offensively, they want to hit home runs. They have 2 sacrifices all year in 56 games plus. 2. And both of them are from Jaden Duplantier, who's not playing today. That pitch looked like a strike, but called a ball, 1-1. Mendoza has doubled and scored and grounded in away at short. 7th man to bat here in the 3rd. 10 runs on 8 hits for Texas. And finally, UT's on deck hitter told to back away by home plate umpire John Byrne. That should have happened in the 1st. Martin over in right center. Hot shot. That almost got Guyette, and he is getting barreled around by the Texas sticks. Wide turn at first by Mendoza, who's 2 for 3 already. Texas has 9 hits, and we're not out of the 3rd. Galvan 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. It's gotten off to a rugged start in this elimination game for the Friendlies. It's 10-3 Texas. Horns lost last night 9-7. Second loss to UTSA in this ballpark this year. Whiffing at the sweeping breaking pitch is Galvan 0-1. 3 defenders left. Flores holding the runner at first base. That pitch not in the zone, a ball and a strike. A little quieter around this area here in Austin with the high school state softball championships wrapping up last night. 3 days of action there. Guyette with another slider, a slow version. That's foul at the plate, 1-2. Three Horns, top 3. And again, there's no run rule in this game or in the NCAA tournament. Outfield very deep, straight away. Breaking pitch is out. The throw caught by Dart are out at second. Bluffed as if it went to the outfield, but that was not a good throw from Madliak. And at second base with 2 outs is Mendoza. Texas has some speed. Stolen base number 75 of the year for the Horns. Texas can wear you out, there's no doubt. They do a lot of things very well. That breaking pitch fanned at by Galvan. It was up at the letters. He strikes out for a second time in 3 innings, but the 4 spot put up by Texas. A big inning for the Horns. The 3-run homer by Borba. His second homer of the game. 7 ribbies already for the Texas third baseman. 4 runs in the frame. 4 hits. An error. A man left. Bottom of the third when we come back. Texas up 10-3 on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
At Central Valley Ag, we believe there's room at the table for everyone. And in 2025, the year of the cooperative, we're celebrating the strength of farmers like you. Cooperatives were built by farmers, for the betterment of farmers, working together to create opportunity, stability, and a future for the next generation. Because when we stand together, we grow together. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag.
This is Coach Chris Kleiman with a message of hope for families battling drug addiction. No one takes drugs like meth, cocaine, and ecstasy expecting to become addicted. You should know that addiction can happen to anyone because it's a disease of the brain. But that also means recovery is possible. Addiction doesn't have to be permanent, and the state of Kansas is ready to assist you every step of the way.
Please visit findtreatment.gov or call the Kansas Substance Abuse Referral Line at 866-645-8216.
Rio Haas still with plenty of room to work with. He was spotted a 6-run lead right away in the first inning. The lead is now 7 after 4 have been put up by Texas here in the top of the third inning. Now bottom of the third from UFCU Disch-Falk Field. Texas went 22-8 in its first year in the SEC, and again, Jim Schlossnagle was the coach of the year. Their outstanding freshman, Volantis, was the freshman of the year. Got a look at him last night. It'll be the top third for KSU here in the third inning. That means Inouye will get the show rolling here in the bottom of the third against Rio Haas. Strike 1 to Shintaro. He grounded to his counterpart Flores in the first. Rio Haas giving Inouye a little more of that sidearm look, that fastball. The kick, the pitch. Inouye takes a change, a little high, 3-0. Early on in the ball game, Texas is 5 for 10 with runners on. And this ball lifted to left field to his right, and coming in a bit, Rodriguez settles under it and will make the catch. Inouye swinging 2-1. He's 0 for 2. That'll bring Kennedy up. He walked and scored on Dardar's 3-run homer in the first inning. Third base edge of the rubber is where Rio Haas works from, and he spins one in, and Kennedy whiffs at it. Kennedy's strikeout number is at 78. His at-bat number is 220, so you're talking about a K once every 3 ABs. And he's down 0-2, a similar swing on a similar pitch. Making adjustments, hitting that pitch, laying off that pitch. Part of the progress D will have to make. Rojas spins one low and outside, not close to the dish. 1-2. A Horn lead of 10-3 in the bottom of the third, and Oklahoma State has just walked off Georgia. Kennedy again on a breaking pitch. Swings and misses, 2 outs. Oklahoma State hit 7 home runs yesterday. And in that ball game where they just walked off Georgia in Athens, they hit 3 home runs in the 9th. So OSU does stay alive. There were some folks that weren't sure that Oklahoma State should be in the tournament, but they have battled back. Now they've got to win twice. And there's a fly ball to left off the bat of O'Connor at the track, and his counterpart Rodriguez just gave Keegan an idea of how he should have played that fly ball that he saw on the top of the frame. 1-2-3 go the Cats after 3. 10-3 Texas on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Texas has produced 9 hits through 3 innings and 10 runs. Horns leading K-State in this elimination matchup, 10-3. They're back at UFCU Dish Falk Field. Texas has scored 10 or more runs 14, now 15 times this year. Before today, when scoring 10 or more, Texas hasn't lost. 14-0. Ballou, Schussler, Rodriguez to face Guyette here in the third. Texas batted 8 men in the third inning. Texas batting here in the fourth. There's a bouncer over Guyette out near second. Dardar charges, gets rid of it in time, and check that. With the shift on, it's Inouye that makes the nice play. So it's a 6-3 put out, but it's on the right side of second. Kennedy did not have enough time to get there. So a pretty slick play there by Shintaro. And that will get Schussler to the plate. He's halfway to the cycle. He has singled and tripled. Breaking pitch forced Schussler to step in the bucket, and he'll take an opening strike. It was Schussler's fly ball to left that carried to the wall, but O'Connor did not get back in time, and it fell and wound up being a triple. So time called. The batter Schussler wanting to readjust his batter gloves. A warm one here in Austin, and Texas white hot at the moment. Going around with Schuessler to his dismay as he was barking at himself, spinning out of the front of the right batter's box. 0-2. Schuessler, as I mentioned, halfway to the cycle. Borba's halfway to the home runs. Line drive off the end of the bat, just past and away. Too good a pitch, 0-2. It stayed out over the plate. And that's the 10th hit for UT. A one-out runner aboard in Schuessler for Adrian Rodriguez. Good piece of hitting there by Schuessler, who now stands at first. Rodriguez popped up to Dardar on the left side of the infield in his last at bat and is corkscrewed around by a changeup. 0-1 to Rodriguez. K-State would take a double play ball at the moment. Roller over to the first base coaching box. 0-2. 10-3 Texas. Top of the fourth. The second game of this Sunday, the first day of June, by the way, will be about an hour after we get done. Guyette grinding for the Wildcats. And a called third strike, a fastball at the knees. Rodriguez turns and heads to the dugout, 2 men out. That'll bring up Flores, who's been on base twice. Hit by a pitch in the first, singled, drove in a run, and then scored in the third. Ten runs, 10 hits. Texas, 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, K-State. Breaking pitch starts at him and then slides in over the plate. 0-1 to Flores. The count 0-1. Runner edging away from first, but by the time he got to the edge of the brown carpet, he was diving back to the base. (10-3). It's Texas by a touchdown. Runner edging away, and again, he'll retreat on a throw to first base. Nothing in 1 to Flores. He whiffs at a pitch that was running away from him and outside. No balls, 2 strikes. Again, 2 men out. (10-3) Horns. Guy goes back to that pitch. It's slowing out, and an appeal to Linus Baker to no avail. Outfield very deep straight away. No doubles defense per se with 2 outs. Runners off from first. Pitch lifted into shallow center field. Inouye going out. Maximus Martin coming in, and it's Inouye that goes out. Maximus Martin never really kicked it into another gear. Coming in from center. So the high pop fly results in the 3rd out of the inning. Inning over for the Horns. No runs, a hit, a man left, 2 stranded by Texas to this point. Bottom of the 4th next for you here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
What's up, baseball fans? Enjoying the game should be easy. Don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some burgers for the grill and grab some Bud Light for your pregame tailgate. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Sammy Family Stay and Play Lodge at Colbert Hills is now open, and the reviews have been spectacular. Come play the #1 ranked public golf course in Kansas and spend the night in our new lodges with up to 8 bedrooms and featuring modern high-end finishes like a stone fireplace, large bar area, sub-zero refrigerators, a fire pit, and plenty of outdoor patio seating to enjoy the amazing Kansas sunsets. The lodge is perfect for your next group golf outing, wedding party, or business retreat. Visit colberthills.com for details.
Colbert Hills, your experience, our passion.
James Guyette has already thrown 64 pitches, so he is able to go a while longer. The Cats, again, need some run support for Guyette. In recent memory, he threw 72 pitches against Houston in the Big 12 tournament. That 72 number against the Cougars is the most for him. Dardar, who homered a 3-run shot to left in his first at bat, looks at a pitch a mile out from the right-hander Riojas. Straight away infield and outfield for Texas. Horns up comfortably here in the fourth, 10-3. Dardar starts in front, 2-0. Last year, Texas won 2 out of 3 in Manhattan. These teams did not play in the Big 12 tournament. Texas with a commanding all-time series edge. Riojas from the belt. Change up high to the Wildcat hitter Seth Dardar, who will be followed by Martin Andavasco. Leadoff man at the plate here in the fourth. Dardar stares at a strike and a first strike, 3-1. From the third base edge of the rubber. That pitch lasered foul, slicing just beyond the auxiliary seats down the left field line. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Still a fair amount of time for the Cats to get back in this game. Dardar locked in. Lifts it to center. Didn't get all of it. Gasparino drifting back still will haul it in.
Next for the Cats is the center fielder, Maximus.
So Dardar retired. That'll bring Maximus Martin to the plate 0-for-1 with a strikeout. The right-hander steps onto the rubber, deals upstairs to Maximus Martin, 4-1. Riojas ready to work. Nobody on base behind him. That spinner shot foul, first base side. It's 1-1. 10-3 Houston. Again, we're in the bottom of the fourth inning here in Austin, Texas. That breaking pitch ties up Maximus Martin a bit. With his swing, he can't connect. Not really staying back and trying to drive it. So now Maximus awaits the 1-2. And a call, third strike on a fastball. It got snuck by him. And you could just, again, with the body language of Maximus, sense a bit of despair. That'll bring up Ivasco with 2 outs and nobody on. Again, Riojas was at UTSA last season. In his career, 23-6. He was 10-3 at UTSA last year. He works in front of Ivasco, 0-1. Right-hander against left-hander. Picked up out of the turf by the catcher Galvan. 1 ball and 1 strike. UT planted 6 on the board in the first and then 4 more in the third. K-State's 3 runs came in the first. Good eye there by Ivasco. A good baptism here for AJ. See what life in the NCAA tournament is all about. Fairly well struck to left, but it's not going to have enough juice. Rodriguez will come in a couple of steps to retire Ivasco and the Cats in the 4th. Cats go 1-2-3 in the 4th inning. We'll step aside. After 4 here at the Dish, it's Texas 10, K-State 3 on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Riojas is at 56 pitches through 4. James Guyette, who steps back onto the mound for Kansas State here in the top of the 5th inning with Texas leading 10-3, is at 64 through 3 2/3. Guyette has given up a couple of home runs, both to Casey Borba in the 8-hole. One a grand slam, one a 3-run shot. And after Guyette faces Williams, he will then see Borba. So here we go in the 5th. Texas in command by 7. First pitch fastball up and out. Williams was the first guy that James faced in the 1st inning. Struck him out looking. Reached on an error in the 3rd. And now just got a piece of Madliak with that last swing. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Texas DH. Madliak checked on briefly by John Byrne. Maximus Martin way over in left center field. Bunt shown, pushed towards third, and Kennedy and Williams beats it out easily. Heady play by Williams. Williams is a very vocal player, very animated. Here's Borba, and now he is set for a 2-run homer, and I say that simply because he's halfway to the cycle, gets a breaking pitch, strike one. He started his day with a grand slam in the first. 2 innings later in the third, hit a 3-run homer. Now with Williams reaching on the bunt, if he hit one out of the park here, he'd have 3 legs of the home run cycle created. Breaking pitch stays up and in. Brought this up in the past, but a year ago when K-State played at Tennessee, we almost saw the same thing, the home run cycle in reverse from Dean Curley, the outstanding Vol shortstop. Put the string on him there, and Borba's down 1-2 after a swing and miss. Borba taps himself on the burnt orange letters on the front of his jersey before he gets back in. A ball, 2 strikes. Hot shot to Kennedy at third. Taps the glove. Second one. Throw to first in time, and that's how you turn a double play. It'll be a 5-4-3 twin killing. Clear the bases. 2 men out. Ball was stung right at D, and it was hit hard enough again that K-State was able to get the double play turned and turned quickly. 2 down for Gasparino, the number 9 hitter. Hard slider outside. K-State's going to have to get back on the board soon. Working in the middle innings now. Quite a trigger there from Gasparino off the end of the bat and into the screen. K-State again in the last, there's not an exact day, but in the last, let's say 4 to 5, 5 to 6 weeks, K-State has scored plenty of runs early. The first third of a game is where K-State has the most success. They have a tendency to score early and then not get much the rest of the ball game. It is 1-1 to Gasparino, who's nothing for 2. 2 outs, no horns on here in the 5th. Turned on a pitch that was coming in on his thumbs and might have landed that on I-35 just to our left. Gasparino, another Californian. He's out of L.A. Long rangy outfielder. Making his 111th start. There's a dump right into right that falls over Dardar and in front of Ivasco. Hit number 12 for the Horns. Got just enough of it. Dardar racing out. Ivasco was deep enough. He had no shot to get there. That will bring Mendoza to the plate. He's already been there now 4 times in 5 innings. Good pitch. That snaps on the outside corner. 0-1. Mendoza has made over 100 starts in his Texas career. Runner off from first and a protective swing doesn't make contact, and it gets away from Madliak. Get another look at that. See if it was more of a passed ball or a wild pitch. It was a splitter that was buried, so it'll be a wild pitch. But the batter, Mendoza, did what he needed to do to protect his teammate. So the wild pitch puts Gasparino at second base. 2 down, 10-3 Texas. Just getting a piece of it. Mendoza, a very long swing, reaching to stay alive. Texas's tennis facility is beyond the left field fence and across the street, and there are people on that concourse. We've talked about this before. On that concourse watching the baseball game, it's kind of like watching a game from Wrigley Field across the street on top of the apartments. Just missing outside with that fastball. And those seats on top of the apartments across from Wrigley, those are not cheap tickets. A ball, 2 strikes. 10-3 Houston, or rather 10-3 Texas. I beg your pardon, here in the 5th. And here's a line shot. It winds up on top of the Texas indoor facility down the right field line. Well, if Texas winds up winning this baseball game, their fans are going to have to get juiced back up. UTSA will be back in the house tonight. UTSA 1 away from a super regional. Here's a bouncer over the head of Guyette, and way too much speed, and now a play at the plate. And the ball gets knocked out of Madliak's glove, and the runner is safe. And the throw to second, not in time. And it goes from bad to worse for the Cats. The runner, Gasparino, coming around third base, was dead to rights. He was halfway to home as the throw is coming to the plate. And here's the slide, and he knocks the ball out of Madliak's glove. So Mendoza reaches on a fielder's choice and advances to second on the throw, but with Gasparino scoring, it is now 11-3 Texas. And the inning's not done. Galvan's trying to get on the right side of the ledger. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Everybody else for Texas has done something at the plate, but not Galvan. In fact, every Longhorn but Galvan has scored at least a run. Everybody but Galvan has a hit. Now 2-0. K-State does have a little activity going out in the bullpen. And it's J.J. Slack. Strike issued. Well, take that back. They have scored Mendoza's play an infield single. No throw back to second here. The pitch to the plate, and the batter's hit. Galvan wears a 2-1 pitch in the backside. And I'm sure Guyette's getting a little bit tired. It's not going the way of the Purples. And what I didn't mention is with the play at the plate and Gasparino scoring, that goes down as an E2. And P. Hughes is going to go ahead and pull the plug on James Guyette, who did what he could, but it's been a rough outing. Guyette will give up the baseball, and we'll step aside for a pitching change. It's all Texas right now, unfortunately, here at the home of the Longhorns. Pitching change being made. Not out of the top of the 5th quite yet. Texas with a couple of men on. They have scored a run. It's 11-3 UT. Back in a moment here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
At Central Valley Ag, we believe there's room at the table for everyone. And in 2025, the year of the cooperative, we're celebrating the strength of farmers like you. Cooperatives were built by farmers, for the betterment of farmers, working together to create opportunity, stability, and a future for the next generation. Because when we stand together, we grow together. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
You credit James Guyette for entering the game in a tough spot and giving K-State what he had. He threw a career-high 85 pitches. His previous high was 74 in the third and final game of that Houston series when he suffered the loss. K-State lost that game 6-5. He'd thrown 73 in an outing in Waco way back in mid-March in that first road series in Big 12 play this year. Now it's J.J. Slack's turn. Slack, whose mom is a high school softball coach and a very successful one here in Texas, makes his first appearance of the weekend. 2-3 with an 8.53 ERA. This is his 18th appearance. 53 Ks, 20 walks, opponents hitting .258 against him. He comes in to face Ballou, so it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Misses just outside with a fastball. Well, talked about it with Pete Hughes in the pregame, and he mentioned it last night after the victory, but Cats would need to play airtight baseball today, and they have not. Now Madliak yanked out from behind the plate. 2-0 to Ballou. Slack with the red glove again. Last weekend had a tryout with the Savannah Bananas, who are selling out big league stadiums everywhere. In fact, NFL stadiums. Slack falls behind, 3 balls, no strikes. On deck is Schussler, who's 3 for 3 in this ballgame. Texas has 13 hits, 11 runs. And Slack comes in and walks Ballou on 4 straight. So they're loaded up for UT. So Ballou with the free pass. His 21st walk of the year. That'll set the table for Schussler. Single run scored, triple run scored, single. Ball 1 to the UT first baseman. The winner of this regional plays the winner of the Los Angeles regional. That's being hosted obviously by UCLA. Slack finds the strike zone here, gives Schussler 1. It's a ball and a strike. Can he keep it at 1 here? While you're a ways behind, still within shouting distance. Slack misses badly as that fastball darts outside 2-1. But if you give up another base hit here, a couple of more runs, you are really in the rearview mirror. And Schussler has 5 hits in the series. Fouls this pitch back, so 2-2. Number last night for you from action wrapping up last evening. Since the current format started in '99, 81% of the regional winners went 2-0. They started 2-0. That means UTSA has history on its side in terms of what's gone on in the NCAA tournament. Ground ball to second and Dardar. He'll flip to the bag with Inouye covering for the force out, and that'll do it in the inning. So UT, out of all of that and 7 guys batting, gets just 1 run. Blue retired 4-6, inning over, but Texas adds 1. 11-3 Horns, halfway point in this elimination game as we step to the bottom of the 5th after a timeout on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Play ball! It's college baseball season, and we're here to talk about it.
Every week, join Kyle Schassberger and me, David Kahn, as we deliver the best of college baseball.
We've got all the diamond talk you can imagine, with interviews from coaches, players, broadcasters, and more.
Plus, we'll give you our weekly rankings, hot takes, and a whole lot of fun.
Step into the batter's box and let us deliver our best fastball.
Wherever you podcast by searching College Sports Now.
Success on game day starts with knowing your opponent. And when it comes to investing, you need to have a game plan too. Here are some stats you need to know. Investment scams don't just target the elderly. Research shows many fraud victims are college-educated, financially literate individuals who are optimistic. 1 in 10 will fall victim to investment fraud. The Kansas Insurance Department is here to help with a new website at smartinvestks.com. Have a game plan before you invest. Educate yourself on how to avoid scams at smartinvestks.com.
Welcome back here to UFCU Dish Falk Field. It's Austin, Texas. The other teams from the Big 12 playing tonight. Arizona State gets UC Irvine. I'll get that elimination game started in about an hour and 10 minutes. West Virginia tonight at 8, or make that 5 Central, I beg your pardon. And gets the Kentucky Clemson Survivor, and Arizona tonight at 9 Central will draw either Cal Poly or Utah Valley. Nobody thought it would look like that in that regional. So here we go in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cats again still in it, but down by 8. First pitch swinging, and that got some of the catcher Galvan. Riojas will get a new baseball. Galvan being talked to by the home plate umpire, and he'll let Nick English know he's good to go. So it's 0-1, bottom 3rd up here in the K-State 5th. English led off the 2nd and fouled out. Pitch is up, 1-1. Riojas with all sorts of room to work up 8. English sends it straight back, 1-2. The bottom 3rd's only been up once. English fouled out. Flores and Madliak each grounded out. That breaking pitch sneaks or skips in, rather. It's 2-2. Fastball lifted back. English, if you weren't listening when the regional started on Friday night, came in as a pinch hitter and belted a home run to deep left. Again, his action in the last couple of months has been few and far between. Still dealing with that hamstring. Can swing it, but hard to run in the outfield. Bouncing ball to the left to the shortstop. Flores, though, gets there and throws English out by 4 or 5 steps. Good play by the UT shortstop Jalen Flores, and that's the first out. Flores knew he had time. He didn't have to rush. Last year, K-State, you'll recall, tasted the Super Regional round, going to Charlottesville, Virginia. Lost a pair to the Cavaliers. And a big looping swing by Flores on a breaking pitch results in an 0-1 count. But in that series and regional in Fayetteville, K-State got off to the right start, beating Louisiana Tech. They won the Saturday night game. Flores gets hit by that breaking pitch. So 1-on-1 out. And after K-State beat Arkansas in that Saturday night matchup at Baum Walker, K-State knew it had to win just one more, and then SEMO did to many the unthinkable and beat Arkansas. The Hogs were out. K-State beat SEMO in that Sunday contest, that Sunday night matchup, to win the regional. Big cut here from Madliak, who grounded out to third in his first at bat. He's behind 0-1. Well, Arkansas is not messing around this year. They have thumped a couple opponents. They took Creighton to the woodshed last night. That foul tip. Vahivo Aloy hit a couple of bombs. I think Arkansas had 5 of them last night. 0-2 to Madliak with Flores at first and 1 down. It's 11-3 Texas in the bottom of the 5th inning. Breaking pitch low. You know, when you think about 2026, how does K-State adjust this scouting report that others have? What can K-State do with those pitches away, the breaking ball? Fly to left. Back now is Rodriguez, and he'll haul it in, and Flores will scamper back to first. So Madliak 0 for 2. It's an area that Austin Waits knows his offense, and this offense must get better at. So now 2 down here in the 5th. Inouye 0 for 2. Swinging right away, rolls it right in front of Jaden Parsons, the Cat first base coach. Inouye is grounded to short and flied to left. A lot of guys will be back for K-State next year. K-State's coaching staff very happy with the recruiting class. Cats do need some arms. Can never have too many arms. Cats hope Carson Liggett heals up from Tommy John. He was expected to be the Friday night guy, but was hurt, had Tommy John before the season got started. Pulling off that pitch is Inouye, and he's down 0-2. Cole Weisenbaker battling back from an arm injury as well. So in a lot of ways, K-State's just very fortunate to be in the NCAA tournament for a second straight year. Here comes the crowd as Riojas works ahead 1-2. Throws a 59-footer in front of the plate. Quiet in the Texas bullpen. Riojas in control. Texas in control, 11-3. Fans trying to get Riojas out of the 5th inning. All 3 is up and away from Shintaro Inouye. D. Kennedy on deck. Cats got a 3-run homer in the first. They cut a 6-0 lead to 6-3, but nothing since. Runner off, Conway strikes out. And looking down at it, going back to the last time Conway came to the plate, the only Wildcat to reach Flores a moment ago on the hit by pitch. 5 in the books, 11-3 Texas here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NCAA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Real Haas has retired 14 of the last 15 Wildcats. And ever since Dardar's home run back in the first inning, a 3-run tater to left, Real Haas has shut down K-State. 11-3 Texas, inning number 6 here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield. Appreciate you joining us. 10 seconds here for station ID. You're listening to K-State Baseball. Matt Walters with you from the dish. Lacey Williams in our Jeff City, Missouri studios. J.J. Slack back to work. Breaking pitch, a strike. Given to Adrian Rodriguez, who will be followed by Flores and then Williams. 8 of the 9 Longhorns have hits. Three Longhorns with multi-hits already. And that fastball got up and in and forced Rodriguez to eject from the batter's box. Spun around and went down. Rodriguez with an infield base hit. He's popped up and he's been called out on strikes. Tanner Duke only got 1 out in the first. James Guyette allowed 9 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned in 4 1/3. Swing and a miss here from Rodriguez. It'll put him down, a ball and 2 strikes. So now the Wildcats with 2 strikes shift left to right. That breaking pitch hits the Texas batter, and Rodriguez, who gets hit by a 75-mile-an-hour curveball, throws his bat over by the Texas dugout. It wasn't a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It was a 75-mile-an-hour curveball. That'll bring Flores to the plate. 1 for 2. His 1 hit, a run producing single in the 3rd inning. 11 runs, 13 hits. Texas, 3 runs, 2 hits. K-State. Pitch down and in. Remember, Arizona on Friday night won with all of 2 hits. Lefty against righty. And Slack is all over the map right now. Not showing a lot of control. This is the 4th batter he's faced. He's walked 1. He's gotten a bounce out and fielder's choice, and he's hit a batter. I see somebody start throwing shortly in the pen. Ball 3 up and away. And yes, indeed, movement out in the Wildcat bullpen. Adam Arthur, who briefly threw Friday night, starts warming up right now. Slack walks Flores on 4 straight. So a hit batter and a walk, a free 90, a couple of them here in the inning. Here comes Williams. Jonah Williams has struck out, reached on an error and scored, and pushed a very nice bunt up the third base line. And this defensive timeout is just to let Arthur get a few extra pitches thrown. Cat fans, football season is just a few months away, less than 3 months away. Don't miss being a part of the best home field advantage in the Big 12. It all starts August 30th when North Dakota comes to town. There'll be a stripe out for the home opener. September 6th, Fort Riley Day, Army visits the Little Apple. That'll be something quite special. September 27th is Ag Day against UCF. Homecoming against TCU on October 11th. Harley Day November 1st when Tech rolls in. And then Senior Day November 29th when Coach Prime and his hoodie roll into Manhattan. Tickets available online at kstatesports.com or call 1-800-221-CATS. P. Hughes will make a change. J.J. Slack pitches for the final time as a Wildcat. We'll step aside. Pitching change here in the 6th. 2 on, nobody out for Texas. 11-3 Horns on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
It's estimated between now and 2050, we're going to add 1.7 billion people to the planet. The more people, the more energy. The United States is doing its part, rising to become the #1 oil and gas producing nation on Earth, all the while reducing our emissions year over year. And that makes sense here in Kansas, where it's mostly local producers that live in your own town. They care about your environment because it's their environment too. Do your own research at kansasstrong.com.
Play ball! It's college baseball season, and we're here to talk about it.
Every week, join Kyle Schasberger and me, David Kahn, as we deliver the best of college baseball.
We've got all the diamond talk you can imagine, with interviews from coaches, players, broadcasters, and more.
Plus, we'll give you our weekly rankings, hot takes, and a whole lot of fun.
Step into the batter's box and let us deliver our best fastball.
Wherever you podcast by searching College Sports Now.
(11-3) K-State. You just noticed the defensive change that the Wildcats have made. Bear Madliak's season, it looks like, is done. Caden Phillips is now behind the plate. Phillips is a Texan, a veteran, a team captain, so he's going to ride it out behind the plate. Texas has 2 on after a hit batter and a walk by Slack. And Jonah Williams comes to the plate. He faces Arthur. Adam Arthur 2-0 with a 2.19 earned run average. 24 2/3 innings. He's only allowed 6 earned runs all year, 15 strikeouts, 9 walks. Arthur's been pretty stingy on the mound. The only time this year he has allowed more than 1 earned run was the April 11th game against UCF. We're talking about almost 2 months ago. 1 time this year. A strike thrown as he faces Williams. The bouncer foul past first. And it's 0-2 to Jonah Williams. Flores is the base runner at first. Rodriguez in front of him at second. (11-3) Texas here in the 6th. This ball lined out into right center. Adam left it right over the plate. Around third, Rodriguez on his way to home. The throw misses the cutoff man. Just to replace one for another. Williams drives in his 10th. 12-3 Texas. Adams' breaking pitch stayed right on a tee over the top of home plate. Here comes Borba. Borba's been all or none today. He started 2 for 2 with a grand slam and a 3-run homer, and he's hit into a double play. So he's got 7 ribbies. Texas is up 9 at the moment. 14 hits for UT in this ball game. Strike 1 to Borba, the third baseman. He's got 45 driven in now in the year. Which vaults him into 4th on the UT roster. Bangs this one into left field. That's going to get another run across the plate. Throw to third, not in time as it gets away down near home. 13-3 Texas, and Borba now has 8 driven in and is 3 for 4 in this ball game. Williams went first to third. Borba's at first. Now Gasparino, the 9-hole hitter, comes to the plate. And the Horns are hanging it on the Wildcats, unfortunately, here on this Sunday afternoon. The changeup flutters up and away to Gasparino. Fly ball to left, didn't get it all. O'Connor backtracking will make the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Williams. It's a sac fly for Gasparino. He drives in his 49th. And that adds another run onto the scoreboard. 14-3. I don't know if you remember last year, but I mentioned that Texas won 2 out of 3. K-State won the opener 14-6. And then in the Saturday game, Texas scored 21 on the Cats. And then won a more normal 6-3 type game on Sunday. Strike 1 to Mendoza, who's batting for a 5th time. Texas is going to set some highs this year in this ball game. Hold over to short. Should be 2. To second 1. To first 2. In a way to Dardar to Flores. And that's going to do it in the inning. So on the frame for Texas, 3 runs on a couple of hits, a hit batter and a walk. And nobody left. Bottom of the 6th when we return. All Texas, 14-3, back in a moment on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Big news! Peerless Tires for Less is now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service. Same trusted team, same quick tire service, now with even better tire value, a nationwide warranty, and easy financing options to fit your budget. Plus, every set of tires you buy comes with free flat repairs, rotations, air checks, and inspections to keep you rolling worry-free. Visit your local Peerless store, now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service, or shop and schedule online at gillspointstire.com.
Texas has scored in 4 of 6 innings. They've got 3 crooked numbers up, ranging from 6 down to 3. And they got after K-State right away. Tanner Duke going with the start. And if you're wondering about why hasn't K-State used Michael Quevedo yet in this regional, well, Q is not at 100% and likely won't throw. There was a chance we thought he might go today, but not the case. So as we venture into the bottom of the 6th inning, it's a 14-3 Texas lead. Riojas can just fill her up. Let the defense work. He's only given up 2 hits. And again, he has shut down K-State. He has retired 14 of the last 15. And the only guy that's reached Flores, who was hit by pitch in the 5th. And again, D. Kennedy's just tied up by a breaking ball. The count to D, 0-2. He struck out in the 3rd. Got a piece of that pitch. That was more of that sidewinding breaking ball, kind of that sweeper. Riojas, the former Roadrunner from UTSA, comes from multiple angles. Up the middle is the second baseman Mendoza. Calvon wants it away. Didn't get it there. Bounced in front of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. And now Riojas will get a new baseball. There is somebody up and throwing in the Texas pen out and right. Not that quickly. Again, it's not like Riojas is taxed with a high pitch count at the moment. He's at 76, which is a very good number in the bottom of the 6th. Righty against righty, a ball, 2 strikes. Curveball popped up, got him off balance, out on his front foot. Flores backs up 6 steps, shields the sun, squeezes it, 1 down. That will bring O'Connor to the plate. Nobody on, a man out. In the ball game, O'Connor 1 for 2. His last at bat took a ball to the wall and left. Takes a sweeping curve here for a strike. 0-1. Single season home run record. Tardar's homer in the 1st gave him 13. But O'Connor's yesterday against HCU was his 17th. Credit Riojas. He's worked in front much of the afternoon. He's ahead here, 0-2. Riojas has walked 1, hit 1. He has struck out 4. But his offense has given him all the support and then some he could want. From the belt, Riojas' 0-2. Line down the right field line, and that will rattle around and will become a souvenir shortly for a little one. Dardar's on deck. Kennedy popped out a moment ago. 0 for 2 with the walk. Now is D. K-State again has just 2 hits. Curveball strikes out O'Connor. Two down now for Dardar. For Riojas, that's strikeout number 5. And all the the strikeouts have come 1 through 5 in the order, FYI. Dardar's the only cat in that grouping to not strike out and misses that breaking pitch. Right side shift. Second baseman Mendoza. And another breaking pitch, swing and miss. 0-2. Wonder what Dardar's going to see here. No balls, 2 strikes. Mendoza out in shallow right. Comes the Texas faithful. The 0-2. Busted him in, almost hit him with a fastball. 1-2. Riojas has his thumb on the Wildcats. A ball, 2 strikes here to Seth Dardar. Breaks down, a sidearm changeup stays out and squirts away from Galvan, the catcher. 2-2. Signs have been relayed. Riojas ready. Nobody on, 2 out. Dardar got under it, lifts it to left center field. To his left, Rodriguez makes the routine play. K-State goes in order yet again. Cats have gone in order 4 times in the ball game. Texas leads it 14-3. Go to the 7th next here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
14-3 Horns back at the dish here on the K-State Sports Network. Matt Walters here in Austin, Lacey Williams in our Jeff City, Missouri studios. And if you fell asleep earlier today, it is June 1st, believe it or not. And in 9 days, season tickets for volleyball, soccer, men's and women's hoops all go on sale. You can even put in your 2026 K-State baseball season ticket deposits starting that day. Ahern Fund members get early access to football single game tickets on the same date, June 10th, with general public on sale tickets being sold, or I should say general public tickets going on sale on June 17th. Lock in all your seats for the 25-26 athletic campaigns starting Tuesday, June 10th. Well, after all, lo and behold, we will see Michael Quevedo, the transfer from Nichols. Again, he is not at 100%, but Hughes giving him some work. They have lobbied to pitch. He has meant a lot this year to the Cats. Quevedo 6-3. Saturday starter all year. 6.28 ERA, 61 2/3 innings. Almost a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 70 Ks, 25 walks. He gets Chamberlain here, a pinch hitter, and a backup catcher. He will lead things off batting for Galvan here in the 7th. Chamberlain out of Novato, California. Don't know where that pitch missed. It's an 11-run game, so John Byrne can open it up just a touch. No need to squeeze in this kind of ball game. Quevedo falls behind 3-0. The 3-0 from Q. A high strike. Chamberlain didn't like it. He turns out of the batter's box. Chamberlain 5 for 37. That's a $135, playing in his 22nd game. And Quevedo loses him. A leadoff walk here in the 7th. Dante Lewis is heating up now in the bullpen for K-State as well. Baloo comes to the plate. Jim Schlossnagle letting Galvan sit. The next game coming up tonight, he'll need to catch, so give him a little extra rest. Quevedo misses outside. We're in the 7th inning. All Longhorns 14-3. Cats have been out hit 15-2. This little slow roller past Flores. Nobody's at the bag. Dardar will have to take it himself, and that's just the experience from Sam. Inexperience, that is. But a good play by the Wildcats second baseman Dardar. And there's the first out. Kimball Schuessler to the plate now with the runner at second and a man out. So finally, Schuessler gets to the batter's box. 3 for 4 in the ball game, a couple of singles and a triple. Changeup stays high. That had Schuessler's knees a little wobbly. Well, unless there's a miraculous comeback, this place will be jumping tonight for UTSA in Texas. Strike one to Schuessler. The win the Roadrunners had against K-State Friday night was UTSA's first NCAA tournament win in the program's history. A ball, a strike, one on. And that ball is lifted to deep left field. If it's fair, it's gone, but it is a foul ball and not by much. Schuessler just out in front of that off-speed pitch. And it was foul by a good 6 or 7 feet. (14-3) Texas. The Horns have done their fair share of damage. Texas has now scored over 400 runs on the year. And they're about to go to 28-6 at home. That's one thing in February and March, the Texases, the A&Ms, teams here in the South, they don't have to go on the road because everybody wants to come here to play. So again, you can be the Arizona schools, you can be the Texas schools, Mississippi, Louisiana schools. Schussler was a little tardy getting back in, so now the counts the ball and 2 strikes. Fly ball center field. Maximus Martin right under it. Makes the catch and not tagging and heading to third as the runner. Chamberlain would have been out by a mile. 2 down. But again, that's the luxury that these schools have in the Lone Star State. Weather conditions mean home games, especially in the first month and a half of the year. If Texas does go on the road, it's maybe to another tournament up at Globe Life or Frisco or a Round Rock. Here's a pinch hitter, Tommy Farmer, the 4th. Will bat for Rodriguez. Quevedo to the plate, comes inside, doesn't get the call, pitch up. Farmer is out of Santa Monica, California, so more and more Californians being put into the lineup by Jim Schlossnagle. Q misses in, 2-0. When Schlossnagle was at TCU, always got a lot of California players. Pretty good pipeline all the way around to that university from the West Coast. The 2-0 early swing, fouled straight back by Tommy Farmer, who's hitting .253. Farmer plays a lot. He's got 48 starts on the year, just a homer and 25 driven in. But boy, howdy, does he strike out. He strikes out more than any other Horn hitter. He's got 64 punch-outs. Quevedo leaves it inside, 3-1. Runner at second, 2 men out. Foul tipped and caught by Phillips. The count full. Just personal preference. This is one of those games, again, this Sunday game around the NCAA Baseball tournament. This is where the run rule needs to be in place. There's no need to play a full inning or full 9 in this kind of game. Popped up right side. Quevedo and Flores. Sam calling for it and makes a web catch. Sliding to his right near the mound. That'll do it. Farmer pops up. Inning over, and we'll step aside. Stretch time here in Austin. Texas denied in the inning. Riojas back to the mound. He is rocking and rolling. 14-3 Horns. Stretch time in Austin here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
What's up, baseball fans? Enjoying the game should be easy. Don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your lucky jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some burgers for the grill and grab some Bud Light for your pregame tailgate. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The world needs affordable, reliable energy. Right now, about 60% of the population of the world is energy deprived, meaning they don't have as much energy as they would like to have. 20% of the population of the world survives on less energy than it takes to run the average home refrigerator. The number one thing in Kansas that people call for assistance with is paying their energy bills. Oil and natural gas can provide that affordable, reliable energy. Do your own research at kansasstrong.com.
Here we go to the home half of the 7th at the Dish. Real Haas has been magnificent for Texas through 6. His only mistake was a 3-run homer he gave up in the first to Seth Dardar, but since then he has allowed just one more hit, and he has retired 17 of the last 18 Wildcats. The only base runner to reach since Dardar homered way back in the first, again, Flores, who was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. Martin, Ivasco, and English here in the 7th inning. Ball 1 to Maximus, who has struck out twice in the ballgame. That was pitch number 87 for Real Haas. And that's ball 2. Well, Real Haas has done what you want a guy to do in this situation, in this ball game, and that is save the bullpen, and Martin fouls it off himself. You're up by 11. Real Haas really should get very close to a complete game, you would think. Martin will get a little extra time to mend before getting back in the batter's box. 2-1 to Maximus. Breaking pitch, swung at and missed. Maximus swinging 2-0. He has not been overpowering. It's not like Real Haas has 12 or 13 strikeouts, but he has not had a lot of balls squared up off of him. Number of fly ball outs. The left fielder, Rodriguez, very busy much of the game. And speaking of strikeouts, there's the hat trick for Maximus. Could be his final game as a Wildcat, but he strikes out for a 3rd time. One out here in the 7th. Farmer is now in left field, replacing Rodriguez. The new catcher again is Chamberlain. Here's Ivasco. He'll pop one foul. AJ has grounded out and has flied to left field. 14 runs, 15 hits for Bevo. 2 runs, or rather 3 runs on 2 hits and a couple of errors for K-State. Nobody aboard. One out here in the 7th. Pretty well struck to deep left center field. Farmer and Gasparino. Watch it fly into the Yeti zone in left center field. Vasco now with 10 home runs and sets the freshman record with his 50th run driven in. What a year it has been for this young man out of Lincoln, Nebraska. And both K-State home runs in this game have come from left-handed hitters, and both have gone the other way. A little round of applause in the K-State dugout for A.J. Ivasco. Strike 1 issued here to Nick English. Nick is 0 for 2, so Alex John Ivasco with 10 homers and 50 runs driven in. And English gets hit on the left arm. He doesn't wear that. Give me just a second here. He will walk to first. And while he wears an elbow protector, I'm not sure that it actually hit that. He was in some pain getting to first. It's a gummy bear. Unfortunately, Jaden Parsons hasn't handed a lot of those out today. Now the infield will come to the mound, a little mound visit. Pitching coach out for Texas as well in a 14-4 ball game. Won't be a long meeting out on the mound. (14-4) our score. Home half of the seventh. A man on and a man out for Flores, who was hit by a pitch in the fifth. Rivas's pitch banged into right field by Flores. First and second for the Wildcats here in the seventh inning. Little offensive life being shown. Caden Phillips will get his first AB of the game. Chili digs in. Big swing, but can't connect with 92. No balls and a strike. Texas would love to turn a double play here. A little duck snort out into left center field. It's going to fall. The runners had to hold to make sure it would get down. So Caden Phillips with a little blooper out into the Bermuda Triangle in left center. K-State's got him loaded. Here comes Inouye. He is nothing for three. Mentioned the RBI total for Ivasco, hitting 50 as a freshman and setting a record. So the ball rolled over to first. Second base one, back to first. Not in time, and the ball dropped at first. So the Cats get a run. English scores. Ball was not hit that hard. So Inouye is at first on the fielder's choice. English again scoring. Ivasco, or rather Flores forced at second, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, Phillips forced at second, 3-6. Two down, here's Kennedy. And ball one, the count. K-State with a couple of runs here in the inning. First run since the first inning and Dardar's home run. K-State with Cats at the corners. Breaking pitch to Kennedy. One ball, one strike. Again, first and third. The first baseman, Schussler, setting up in an interesting fashion, not facing the pitcher, but is kind of even with the pitcher. His right hip is pointing at the pitcher and the mound. Fastball outer half. Kennedy didn't like it. He's behind 1-2. D does not have a hit in this ball game. Has just 3 hits in the regional. Here comes the Longhorn Nation with 2 down. The breaking pitch will squib away from the catcher, just about 3 or 4 feet to his right. Chamberlain doing good work there. It counts 2-2. Riojas trying to finish the 7th. And that pitch high. So the runner from first, which is Inouye, he will be off. Flores at third must stay put. Second baseman Mendoza's up the middle, so a ton of room between first and second base. They stay with 2 in the inning. Ball 4. D did not swing at a pitch that was a good foot outside. And that will bring O'Connor to the plate. Well, why not a grand slam here and make it 14-9? Still got a long ways to go. The tying run deep in the dugout, but why not? Little Rock and Rhode Island yesterday played a 22-10 game in an elimination contest. A defensive swing. O'Connor goes around. One to Keegan. His next RBI will be his 60th. Terrible swing at a pitch down and in. One arm swing, he's behind 0-2. And it was not a discipline to cut by KO. Riojas trying to wipe him out and get this game to the 8th. Rolled over to short, and they saw how to do it. Plays the first, and just in time, O'Connor rung up. Flores hesitated a moment. The second baseman Mendoza was a little late getting there. K-State wants to appeal it and challenge it, so we'll hang tight here. Flores and Mendoza, by the way, had something to say to Kennedy when the play was done, so hang on. Hold your horses. So we'll sit tight here for a moment. And D. Kennedy will be out. Again, it's one of those why not challenges. We've seen a few of those in the tournament, but it will not take long. In fact, the headset's just getting on the umpires, and this really has no reason to take more than 10 or 15 seconds. Cats get a couple of runs in the 7th inning. The umpires wait for the word from Pittsburgh. Should take just a couple of rewinds, hit play a couple of times, and you'll see that D. Kennedy's out, and we can get to the 8th inning. Texas on the verge of winning for the 44th time this year, but they will have to win 2 more times tonight and then tomorrow to get out and into the round of the Super Regionals. Umpires remove the headsets. We'll get the confirmation in a second from Linus Baker, and then we'll go to the 8th inning. Call confirmed, inning over. $14-5 after 7. Texas in front here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. No. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. No by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Riojas is at 110 pitches. May see him exit the game. Again, we're going to the 8th inning. He may not get used anymore, but boy, did he do his job. It's 14-5. Texas. Quevedo stays on the mound. Don't see any other defensive changes at the moment. I may have mentioned Kennedy being out at first. It was O'Connor, so I beg your pardon. And as we skedaddle our way into the 8th, Texas will send up Flores to lead things off against Quevedo. Deep left, but O'Connor to his right will make it an easy play. One pitch, one out. Flores retired. Williams will be pinch hit for. Jaden Duplantier will bat. One of the brother tandems we see around the Big 12, and now with Texas being in the SEC. A couple of them on UTSA's roster, but Duplantier out of Humboldt, Texas, went to Summer Creek High School. He's a junior. 7 hits this year, 3 doubles and 4 ribbies. Quevedo falls behind Duplantier 2-0. Nobody on, a man out here in the 8th. Ball 3 up high to Duplantier. The kick and the pitch. Quevedo loses him on 4 straight. As always, the task is to find quality arms. K-State will be searching the portal, obviously. The area where kids are getting hurt right now is the high school ranks because the opportunities aren't as plentiful. K-State will find a few they already have. Quevedo deals a strike to Borba, who has 3 hits and 8 RBIs. Waited on it, banged it off his foot, and then it will be Quevedo that picks it up to the third base side of the mound. Three for 4, 8 ribbies, a couple of home runs, in a 14-5 Texas lead. Duplantier at first, popped up. Flores foul ground, drifting back, inexperience showing, it lands, it rolls away, and everybody's gonna be safe. If you go to home games at Toynton Family Stadium, it's a stadium that obviously sits a lot lower than this one does here in Austin. But when the ball gets up above the stadium and there's that south wind, it blows it back to the field of play, and that's exactly what it did here when it got up above the stadium. So there are 2 on And a man out here for Gasparino. Borba with 4 hits and one of the most odd singles he might remember. Quevedo can't find the strike zone with the first pitch to Gasparino. 1-0, 2 on. I beg your pardon, 2-0. 2 on, a man out. Top 8. 14-5. It's Texas by 9. Late break. Double steal for Texas in a 9-run ball game. So Duplantier and Borba both get credit for stolen bases. And the baseball is falling out of the stands just down the right field line, so Linus Baker will get it. I don't know that that's a necessary aspect, and that is stealing when you're up by 9 in the 8th inning. Well, here's a little something for you from Nashville. Wright State, who very easily could have beaten Vanderbilt on Friday. Their starting pitcher threw a no-hitter through 6. Here's a pop-up on the infield. Can K-State make this play? Kennedy under it, and he'll retire Gasparino. Wright State has beaten Vanderbilt 5-4. That eliminates the number 1 overall seed on its home field. So bye-bye to Vandy. The Commodores out. So Texas is the highest remaining seed right now in the NCAA tournament. In terms of overall, they were number 2 in the rankings coming in, number 2 in the overall seed process. Ball 1 to Mendoza. The kick in the pitch with runners at second and third. Ball 2. With Quevedo working in the 7th and here in the 8th, I think odds are we'll probably see Dante Lewis in the 9th. 2-0. Pitches away, ball 3. 2 outs remain on the board. 14-5 Texas. Combined 5 crooked numbers put up in this ball game. Cats are going to intentionally walk Mendoza now and bring Chamberlain to the plate. Chamberlain was the first guy Quevedo faced, and he wore a breaking ball. So Chamberlain gets another look-see here at Michael Quevedo. Horns by 9. Horns with them loaded in the 8th. Changeup dives outside. Texas with 16 hits. They have had a day. Late swing from Chamberlain, the left-handed stick. 1-1. Cole Chamberlain, a freshman. Close pitch, but called ball 2. .6'2", 215, big thick kid. Texas has run some great catchers through this program over the years. Quevedo leaves it high, 3-1. No place to put him. Right side shift for the Wildcat defense. The other way in the outfield. Maximus Martin in left center. Little duck snort that drifts over the first base coaching box. That'll move it to 3-2, and everybody will be running on the next pitch. Well, one thing about Quevedo, and you can say the same thing about Lincoln Sheffield, he doesn't show the emotion that Lincoln does, but he is a competitor. And it's been great having him in the program this year. The 3-2. Got under it, sends it into the screen. Quevedo will climb back on to the rubber, and he will throw a second payoff pitch. Low ball 4. He walks in a run, and we'll pause 10 seconds for station ID. You're listening to Wildcat Baseball. (15-5) Texas. Bases remain loaded as the cannon went off a little late. Here comes Ballou. So Quevedo walks in a run. Duplantier scores. Ballou has a 2-run homer. That came back in the first inning. He'll start with strike 1. Ballou is a big factor. He rattled the Big 12 last year in Texas's final year in the conference. Does away with the elbow guard, it looks like, or is that just a protector on his wrist? Big left-handed stick. Doesn't trigger, and that pitch just away from Ballou. It's spelled Belyu. Has fought injury in his time here at Texas. Breaking pitch up. 2-1. Quevedo comes set right in the middle of the rubber. Ballou got selfish there and was swinging for a grand slam. 2-2. 15-5, Texas by 10. Quevedo misses. The count 3-2, and again a close pitch. So we'll see another full count pitch coming, and the runners releasing from their bases. Lewis is hot, by the way, in the bullpen. Fisted over to the Longhorn dugout by Max Ballou. The nightcap, and again the winner's bracket championship game, the first championship game, is not going to get started at 6. Ground ball right at Dardar. He'll pick it up, or excuse me, at Inouye he'll pick it up with the shift being on. Inouye will throw out Ballou. 6-3, inning over. Texas gets 1 run in the inning on just 1 hit. No errors, 3 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 15-5 Horns on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Coach Tang, and we're used to talking about all things basketball. But right now, I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. 1 pill can kill. Here's one way you can help. If you know someone at risk, be prepared with a life-saving medication called naloxone. This nasal spray can reverse the symptoms of an overdose and save lives.
Get it free from the Kansas Naloxone Program by visiting kdads.ks.gov.
The Sammy Family Stay and Play Lodge at Colbert Hills is now open, and the reviews have been spectacular. Come play the #1 ranked public golf course in Kansas and spend the night in our new lodges with up to 8 bedrooms and featuring modern high-end finishes like a stone fireplace, large bar area, sub-zero refrigerators, a fire pit, and plenty of outdoor patio seating to enjoy the amazing Kansas sunsets. The lodge is perfect for your next group golf outing, wedding party, or business retreat. Visit colberthills.com for details.
Colbert Hills, your experience, our passion.
Bottom 8 coming up from Austin. Bouncing around the NCAA. Again, Wright State stuns Vanderbilt and knocks out the Commodores. Creighton and North Dakota State are tied at 10. That in Fayetteville. So Wright State going back to Nashville gets Louisville. They'll have to beat the Cardinals twice. Louisville won a 3-2 game last night. So here we go. Home half of the 8th. Cats down 10. Dardar to lead things off. K-State getting 2 runs in the 7th. Their first runs since the first inning when Dardar went deep to left with a 3-run home run. Pitch number 111 for Rio Haas. A strike. They're just going to ride him a little longer. There's some action behind him in the pen, but there's a hot shot out into shallow right center, and the throw over to first from Mendoza retires Dardar. So there's one down. Maximus Martin, who is quite an addition, gets to the plate. A chance to break up an 0-for-3 Schneid today. He's got 3 Ks. Pitch gets to the backstop. A ball, no strikes. Ivasco has been called back from the on-deck circle, and Mike Kadeen, well, now you know what? K-State will flip that back. That pitch missing. Mike Kadeen was out right next to the on-deck circle. Looked like he was going to pinch it for Ivasco, but not the case. At least not as of yet. 2-0. Foul tip. Martin can't handle the breaking pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Texas really has been in control since the beginning of the game with a 6-run first. Strike 2 here to Maximus Martin, 2-2. Rio Haas comes set. Is 2-2, another curveball, and it hits Maximus Martin. So Martin does get on base. Positive for him in this ball game, but just 1 for 10 in the regional, and he hasn't been able to help K-State at the plate. Boy, again, in the first 5-6 weeks of this year, he could do nothing wrong. And then the book develops, and then the book gets out on you. Ivasco will bat. Rolls it foul. So it's 0-1. Rio Haas set at the belt. Martin with no lead at first. This ball well struck to left. Ivasco might have another one, and it's a 2-run shot to deep left field. K-State's got 3 home runs today. Dardar's and Ivasco's 2 shots, they've all gone the opposite way. And an 11 home run season for The freshman standout from Lincoln. Jim Schlossnagel on his way to the mound. That'll do it for Riojas, who still stands to be the winner in the game. We'll get a standing applause from the Burnt Orange. Riojas goes 7 1/3. Former UTSA Roadrunner exits to a loud round of applause. I mentioned he goes 7 1/3. We'll finish up his line when we come back. Texas making a pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It is Texas up 15-7. You're on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Coach Tang, and we're used to talking about all things basketball. But right now, I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. One pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs. Never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just one pill can kill.
At Central Valley Ag, we believe there's room at the table for everyone. And in 2025, the year of the cooperative, we're celebrating the strength of farmers like you. Cooperatives were built by farmers, for the betterment of farmers, working together to create opportunity, stability, and a future for the next generation. Because when we stand together, we grow together. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag.
We welcome you back here in Austin, Texas. Texas leads it 15-7. So the new pitcher's Cody Howard for UT. Thought we'd see him today, especially if Riojas struggled, but Howard, not a guy that's used a ton, a program guy, so to speak. 9th appearance. He's thrown 12 2/3. 1-0 with a 4.97 ERA. He is from the Woodlands, Texas, and a transfer from Baylor. 6 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts for Ruger Riojas. So if I were to ask you, what zip code in Kansas is 67726? Could you name it? Here's English. He's the first to face Cody Howard. Riojas, by the way, threw 119 pitches in the ballgame. Fires a strike. I'll give you a little hint. Southeast Kansas. 67726. What zip code or what town has that zip? Straightaway's the outfield. 1 down here in the 8th. Fly ball right field. Starting back and then coming in is Ballou. He'll make the catch. 2 down. The next hint I would give you would pretty much give things away. I said that the high school mascot was a yellow jacket. And yep, it would be Fredonia. So bases clearing out, 2 down for Flores. Sam has a 1-for-2 ball game. Cats are down 9 here in the 8th inning. Howard fills it up with a strike to Sam. They'll clear the stadium out after this one and get set for Texas UTSA. Don't know where that pitch was, but ball 1 rung up, or recorded, I should say, 1-1. A ball, a strike here to Flores. Fouled into the screen. Sam summoned to play first base today with the hand injury and what we think is a hamate bone injury to David Bishop, whose baseball career thus ended last night. And what did he do after he hurt his hand? Doubled to left center field. UTSA and that first championship game tonight with Texas is going to be 19 ways it jazzed up for that ball game. Flores slices it into the net above the Cat dugout. They've got the edge. They've got numbers on their side. Again, since the format started, 81% of the teams that start 2-0 win the region and move to the Super Regional. Howard's pitch again fouled almost into the same spot in the net. Neither team, neither UTSA or Texas, will have a plentiful amount of pitching remaining. But Texas does not hurt for arms. We'll probably see Saunier tonight. Cade Bing tonight for Texas. In fact, Bing might get the start. Howard overthrows it. Low and inside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, 2 in. Here in the 8th. That pitch banged to the shift. And the second baseman Mendoza out in shallow right. And it's, again, just amazing at times how that works. Inning over. Cats again scored 2 on the Ivasco 2-run shot. Keep in mind he was almost pinch hit for in the inning. 2 runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Going to the 9th, 15-7. It's Texas in front on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Well, we're going to get a look at Dante Lewis here in the 9th inning. So much promise for this young man, not just as an outfielder, a hitter, but as a pitcher. He has struggled a bit on the mound this year. Dante on the season, 2-0 with an ERA of 7. This is his 12th appearance. He did start 3 games. One of them was at Tarleton, but has thrown just 18 innings, 20 Ks, 10 walks. And an opponent batting average of 257. He's from Pearland. He'll get a throw against his home state squad. We'll see what growth he makes during the offseason. He will first face Kimball Schuessler. Dante is pitcher number 6 of the game for Kansas State. Michael Quevedo, the most recent, pitching a final time. And Q went 2 innings for K-State. Allowed a run, 1 hit. He did walk 4 and didn't strike out anybody. So here's Lewis after Duke Guyette slack Arthur Quevedo. Schuessler has a 3-hit game. He's 3 for 5. Takes up a lot of space in the right side batter's box. Lewis zips in a fastball at 96. Strike one. A right-hander works out of the stretch. Spinner low. 1-1. Dante Lewis taking his turn against the Longhorns. Blast through against West Virginia on May 10th. In Manhattan, win an inning. Struck out 2, walked 1. His 2 wins this season early on in the first month of the year. He beat Michigan, got credit for the win, went 4 innings in relief, and then he defeated William and Mary on March 9th in Manhattan. Fell behind with that last pitch, 2-1. And that ball whanged to left, but right at O'Connor. It was hit on a rope, but it's a loud, long first out. Schuessler 3 for 6. Coming into this game, Texas and K-State were a lot alike, playing 500 ball here late in the year. In May into June, strike one issued to Farmer. Farmer popped up between the mound and first base back in the 7th. Flores making the catch, 1-1. Nobody on, a man out. Coming into this game, Texas just 5-5 in its last 10. Only hitting .231. But their ERA, pitching number's good, 3.82. 94 Ks, 24 walks. Texas always, as there's a swing and miss, Texas always, and everybody knows this, but the Horns always have pitching. It's a given, like we breathe oxygen and drink water to survive. Texas always has pitching. Fouled off of the catcher Phillips. Still a ball, 2 strikes. Texas losing one of its weekend guys, a transfer from Indiana State. I mentioned it earlier, but the starting pitcher Jared Spencer, a shoulder surgery. The senior forced with that injury a lot of changes to be made by Jim Schlossnagle. 2-2 after the last pitch misses to Tommy Farmer the 4th. 3 Wildcat defenders between second and third. Foul tip caught by Chili, and they're 2 men out. Farmer strikes out. Caden Phillips will stick around. He's going to be one of the grad assistants next year for the Purples. And now with 2 down, here is Flores. Pitch buried. Phillips drops on it. 1-0. Nobody aboard, 2 men out. Lewis zips one in at the knees. A ball and a strike. Lewis gets the sign from Phillips. Ground ball foul, just barely past third. West Virginia, an early 1-0 lead on Kentucky. Cincinnati was knocked out earlier today, so West Virginia and Arizona are the ones carrying the mail for the Big 12. Arizona State still alive. Oklahoma State still alive. Slider gets away from Phillips to the backstop, 2-2. But again, you've had a number of number ones get knocked out of their own regionals. Oregon got knocked out. Vanderbilt got knocked out. The Bulldogs of Georgia getting knocked out in Athens. That ball is well struck to center. The park's going to hold it. That's where pitches and hits go to die here at the dish. And that's straightaway center field. So a 1-2-3 worked by Dante Lewis. Texas goes in order in the ninth. Bottom of the ninth coming up. It is 15-7 Horns on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Big news. Peerless Tires for Less is now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service. Same trusted team, same quick tire service, now with even better tire value, a nationwide warranty, and easy financing options to fit your budget. Plus, every set of tires you buy comes with free flat repairs, rotations, air checks, and inspections to keep you rolling worry-free. Visit your local Peerless store, now Gills Point S Tire and Auto Service, or shop and schedule online at gillspointstire.com.
At Central Valley Ag, we believe there's room at the table for everyone. And in 2025, the year of the cooperative, we're celebrating the strength of farmers like you. Cooperatives were built by farmers, for the betterment of farmers, working together to create opportunity, stability, and a future for the next generation. Because when we stand together, we grow together. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag.
Back here for the bottom of the ninth at the dish. That's down 15-7. Super Regionals next weekend. And there'll be a few, if necessary, games tomorrow. And the winner of this region, as I mentioned a bit earlier on the broadcast, draws the Los Angeles regional winner. Will it be Texas or UTSA coming out of this one, the 1 seed and the 2 seed? So here we go with Caden Phillips at the plate, swinging right away. Here to start the ninth. Caden Phillips with the blue base hit to left center field back in the 7th inning. Quickly down 0-2. Cody Howard still on the mound for Texas. Cats got shut down by Riojas after he gave up the home run to Dardar in the first. K-State did nothing for the better part of the next 6 innings. Ball 1 low and away. That pitch misses outside. In fact, going back and doing a little quick math, between Dardar's home run in the first and Vasco's 2-run homer, or I should say solo homer in the 7th, and now we've got a hit batter, so Phillips will head to first base. Leadoff man reaches here in the top of the 9th for K-State. He retired, did Riojas, 18 of 19 Wildcats. K-State will pinch hit here. Now Mike Dean, who was supposed to or was on the verge of pinch hitting for Vasco back in the 8th inning, was called back. Vasco hit a 2-run homer. But in a way, will step aside and Mike Dean will get a regional at bat. And Mike Dean gets hit by Howard. So 2 aboard for K-State. And maybe the comeback is on. Ty Smolinski will bat for D. Kennedy. Well, it's always disappointing, you know, your last game, especially in this elimination matchup on Sunday. It's always tough. We see a lot of blowouts. Tough way to finish the year. K-State will, barring something miraculous, will conclude at 32-26. Ty Smolinski to get an opportunity here. You'll remember last year, K-State 35-26 and got to the Super Regionals. Smolinski stares at it up high. Ty Smolinski, 4 out of 15 this year, a .267 average. Bouncer towards the hole. The only play is going to be to first. Smolinski makes it close, but the out recorded. 6-3 on a nice throw again from Flores at short. So second and third. One down. Keegan O'Connor. Man, oh man, oh man, what a year he's had. Single season home run record holder. Took that over last night with a 3-run shot. Or yesterday afternoon, that is, against HCU. Slider not close and away from O'Connor. Keegan with 1 hit in this game. A single way back in the first. There's a bouncer to deep second. To his left a bit, Mendoza. And O'Connor retired on the chopper, and the Cats' season is down to a final out. Texas an out away from getting into the first championship game a little bit later tonight. Texas 0-2 at home against UTSA, a regular season loss, and then last night's 9-7 setback. That'll bring Dardar to the plate. What an addition again he has been. Real spark plug in the first half of the year. Has done good things all year at the plate. Big cut there. Fouls it back. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Pete Hughes getting his 200th K-State win yesterday. Ball 1 low and in. K-State starting 8-1 in the conference this year, held down first place through 3 weeks of conference play, and then obviously things got a little tougher. Cats went 18-3 at home. Remarkable. This ball banged into right field, but it's caught by Bellew, and that ball was just lasered. But Bellew goes a couple of steps to his right and hauls in the line drive, and 2025 comes to a close. Final score here in Austin. Texas rolls 15-7. Post-game coverage is next on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council. Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
K-State did get one in the ninth, I beg your pardon. It came on the RBI ground out from O'Connor as Caden Phillips scored from third, so the Cats wind up falling 15-8 here in Austin. Matt Walters back with you. Lacey Williams in our Jeff City, Missouri studios. The season done at 35-26. And it was just too much Texas offensively. Tanner Duke couldn't get out of the first, got one out. Texas scored 6 in the first, 4 in the third, blew it open, and ran away for a 15-8 victory over the Wildcats. Final numbers to come. Check around the various regionals to come as well. We'll bring you another timeout now. Back to the dish in a moment. 15-8 Texas here on the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.